See, he did the thing. What are you doing? You guys can't put this in the shot. Hey guys, what's going on? Phil here from Custom Offsets. What's going on, guys? Phil here from Custom Offsets TV on YouTube with another video with some edumacation in it. So we're gonna tell you guys how to read a tire sidewall. So whether you're new to the truck world, new to the channel, or anything like that, we'd appreciate if you subscribe, and then hopefully this will get you a better understanding of how to read a truck tire sidewall. So in the truck world, there's actually two different versions. So you're gonna have a standard option, which is what I have here, and then a metric version of tires as well. So we're gonna cover that as well, but we're gonna start on the standard one since that's the most common and probably the easiest to understand. So there's a lot of numbers on here, but the first ones we're gonna be talking about is the size of the tire. So on this one, you can see 35 by 12.50 R20 LT. So what does that all mean? Relatively self-explanatory in the standard sizing. So 35 is gonna be how tall your tire is, approximately. So 35 inches tall by 12.5 wide, which is gonna be the width of your tire from bulge to bulge, you'll hear people say, or from sidewall to sidewall. The R is gonna stand for radial construction, which is just how the tire is made. And then your 20 is gonna be the size of your wheel in inches. So in this particular case, a 20 is gonna be for the 20-inch wheel that we have in here. And then the LT is just designation for light truck. You might see like a P or something like that. That is gonna be a passenger rated tire and not something that you wanna run on a full-size truck. Those are gonna be like for minivans and small SUVs, not your full-size trucks. So that's what that means. Now, the other numbers on here do also matter, but probably not as much to you, especially if you're just trying to figure out what fits. So like the DOT numbers, this is how the tire manufacturers identify like what batch the tire's in as far as what week it was made in and what year, so that if you had any problems, they could identify which batch it was made in. And then on this tire too, you'll see you have like the big sizing here. It's also written down on the bottom side as well, and that's where you're gonna see the next numbers that are important. So we're gonna talk a little bit about load index. This one, where it says 125Q, it's gonna be all about performance of the tire. So 125 is your load index. So basically, the higher the number, the higher the load index, which is how much like weight capacity this tire has at full PSI. So if you have a vehicle that only needs 35 pounds of pressure, but your tire can hold up to 80 pounds of pressure, this is gonna be at that 80 pounds of pressure range. So this one, 125, is gonna be just over 3,600 pounds. It's like 36, 38, I believe. And then you have the next set of numbers, which is 12 PR. So this is gonna be your ply. So it's 12 ply rated. That's what the PR stands for, because with modern tire construction, you don't necessarily need all of the plies that you used to, but this tire has the same strength as a 12 ply tire. Last one we're gonna find on here is the load range, which is right here. It says load range F. That obviously is your load range, pretty self-explanatory there. There's different charts online. You can just look up the load index chart, you can look up the speed rating chart, which is the other half of the load index that we didn't touch on. So where it says 125Q, the Q is gonna be your speed rating for the tire. So this particular tire is only rated for 100 miles an hour because of that Q. So that's your standard size. We're gonna grab the metric tire, kind of explain that one to you as well. So then now we have a metric example for you. This is gonna be the same tire, still a Nitto Ridge grappler, obviously just in a different size. And this one, again, has big numbers and small numbers. So the big numbers we're looking at are 285 70 R17. That same size is across from it as well, 285 70 R17. And then it has all these same numbers like the last tire had as well. So we're gonna go over those. Now 285 is going to be what's called your section width, which that is gonna be how wide the tire is from what people say either bulge to bulge or sidewall to sidewall in millimeters. Now, the next part, the 70, that's going to be your aspect ratio. So it's actually a percentage of the section width. So this sidewall is 70% of 285 millimeters. I know this kind of gets confusing. If you'd rather just do it in inches, we do have conversion calculators on the website that you can check out. We'll probably link them in the description below if you need help with that. But one thing to keep in mind then is if you want to go just with a wider tire, so you're like, okay, 285 70, I want something wider. So you go to something like a 305. If it still had this 70, not only would it be wider, but it would also be taller because this is a percentage, remember, of the section width. So the 70 is your percentage, which basically makes your sidewall height. And then the last couple of things here are radial construction, just like we talked about. 17, this is for a 17-inch wheel. So I'm talking about this right here, 17 inches across there. The next numbers, 116 and Q. So again, just like we talked about, the 116 is gonna be your load index, basically the capacity of this tire at full pressure. So the Q then, just like we mentioned before, it's gonna be the same speed rating as the last tire, 100 miles an hour in particular for the Q. If you wanna know what your tire is rated for, the easiest way is honestly just to Google it. Load index chart, speed rating chart. You'll find what these equal, usually in pounds and kilograms, if for some reason you are one of those people that does things in kilograms. Same DOT numbers as far as when things were manufactured, when they were made, and all that jazz. So what people don't understand, 285/70 R17, what does that mean? This particular one is basically essentially close to a 33 tall, and then about 11.5 wide, just with rough measurements on a tape measure. But you can actually plug this into the conversion calculators and get exact measurements on the website if you want to figure out more information on it. So that is how you read a sidewall. If you're looking for wheels, tires, wheel and tire packages, it's kind of everything we do all at customoffsets.com. So you can pick them up there and get them shipped right to your house. Mounted, balanced, ready to go. It's free shipping plus free mount and balance as long as you're in the lower 48 states, the good old US of A. So if you have any more questions on how exactly to figure out what tire all these tire numbers on here mean, you can always drop them in the comments below. Shoot us an email, come out to the website. We've got all the information all over the place for you there. And I think that just about wraps it up. If you want to figure out what fits your truck, the best way to do it is on the gallery. customoffsets.com/gallery, so you can see what these things look like once they're installed in your truck and know if you need to cut it up or install a lift kit and all of that jazz. Peace. I didn't get to go very far because you got a car here in the way.